Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Waseem here from the channel HandsomeSmells. Welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be doing a oud review from the house of Royal Bengal Ouds, and it's their oil called Phuket from Thailand, which was distilled in 2015. So as you know from the other reviews that I've done from Royal Bengal Ouds, they don't give their oud oils any fancy names, they just name it what it is. So this one is from Thailand, it's from the region of Phuket, and it was distilled in 2015. And this is a wild oud oil, and it's one of the very few wild ouds that I have tried from Thailand. A lot of the Thai oils that you see in the market, they're always cultivated and they're always selling very cheap compared to the other ouds from their other regions. But this is one of the very few wild ouds that from Thailand that I have tried. And this was a sample given to me when I placed a sample order with Royal Bengal Ouds. The guy Ish, he's one of the most generous people when it comes to giving out free samples, so I do recommend checking out his Etsy store. I'll leave it in the comments below. So how does Phuket smell like? So this one is like no other Thai oil that I've tried. It opens up with this absolutely beautiful glorious plum with some medicinal cinnamon and a touch of wood. The opening is absolutely incredible. It's got that fruity element that maybe Thai oils are stereotypically known for, but the fruity element in this is like no other that I've tried from any other Thai oils. The fruitiness, the plum in this has this very rich, dark, and it has a lot of depth. Many were cultivated oils from Thailand don't have this depth. They're always missing something, but this one, it has so much depth, it's so much richness, and the plum in this is absolutely gorgeous. The plum, it has such a dark, bitter, medicinal feel. It's like it's surrounded by some cinnamon, and it's got like a very warm, resinous sort of feel. The plum in the opening is very tarty. Now it keeps that dark, medicinal, tarty plum in the opening, and as it develops it's introduced to this lovely powdery animalic note. Now this adds a further depthness and a richness to the oil, but the animalic in this isn't off-putting. It's not like a fecal note or a barnyard note, but it's definitely there. It feels quite, it's got this oomph, this strength that it gives this oil. And as the scent dries down, you get some hints of some spices, warm spices, and a touch of woods as well, which adds a further depth to this oil. This is one of the most beautiful oils I have tried from Thailand. I've never really found a oud from Thailand which has this much richness. The plum in the opening, honestly, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I've tried other Thai oils which are cultivated and I get like notes of mango, I've get some really ripe orangey sort of fruits, but this one, the sort of fruits that come up in my mind are like dark purple type of ouds and maybe really red, blood red sort of notes that I pick up in this. And that powdery sort of animalic that you get in this is absolutely gorgeous. So like I've said, if you've tried Thai oils before and you have a sort of experience that Thai oils have this fruity sort of feel, but sometimes it has like a fermented sort of feel, this is completely different from that. This has a really deep, rich fruitiness which I haven't come across before, and it must be due to the fact that this is a wild oud, and there's definitely differences between cultivated oud and wild ouds. When I first started wearing ouds and buying ouds, I really thought I had this misconception that there was no difference between cultivated oud and wild oud. I thought it was like a marketing gimmick, but I have to say every single wild oud I have tried, it has blown away cultivated ouds out of the water. I don't care even if the wild oud is twice the price of a cultivated oud. The experience that you get from a wild oud is worth more than twice what you pay for from an organic or a cultivated oud. So I definitely do recommend spending a little bit more on a wild oil, and you will definitely have a better experience compared to a cultivated oud. because seriously, this oud from Royal Bengal Ouds, this wild oud, is by far the best Thai oil I have ever tried. The opening, absolutely gorgeous. That dark plum, medicinal, cinnamon, powdery animalic, some spices, the warm spices that you pick up, and the woods and the dry down, absolutely beautiful. In terms of performance, this one was very good. I wouldn't say it's beastly, but it does last around 6 to 8 hours on my skin. Projection is very good for the first 2 to 3 hours. After that, it sits a little bit closer, but if someone came close to you, they will be able to smell it. So it's strong up close, but the sillage, when you're moving around, it gets a little bit softer after the 3 hour mark. But for me, there wasn't a massive amount of complaints for me. In terms of compliments, now I never mention compliments when it comes to oud reviews, but I got a ton of compliments from my sister when I was wearing this. She said that I smelled incredible, and it didn't even feel like to her that I was wearing an oud oil. So that says something about this oud. Even though it has that little bit of a powdery animalic note to it, it definitely isn't off-putting. Seriously, this is a oud oil which punches well above its price point, and I have to say the House of Royal Bengal Ouds is criminally underrated. I don't hear of many people talking about this house, but their oud oils punch well above their weight, and it really shows that this oud game is a lot about marketing. Some of the top vendors that you hear about, that you always hear about, are guys which have excellent marketing, but there's these distillers out there and these vendors out there who might be not as well known, but they produce absolutely world-class sort of ouds. This is one of the best ouds that I've tried this year, and I've tried so many this year, and this one really is in the top 5. So that's my review of Phuket from Thailand 2015 from the House of Royal Bengal Ouds. It gets a perfect score of 10 out of 10. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please do leave me a like and a comment below, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. I'll be releasing a lot more reviews of ouds, attars, and many other fragrances as well. Until next time, my friends, see you later.